What up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, November 1st, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. The It sequel celebrated Halloween by releasing its first official teaser poster. Warner Bros. Pictures shared a promo image from the film Wednesday of the It official Twitter account. The poster simply features the movie's title, It Chapter 2. The designers used the same jagged red font for It as the first film. The post reads, coming September 6, 2019, #ItMovie. It Chapter 2, based on the Stephen King novel It, and it takes place 27 years after the events of the first movie. The story follows a group of friends as they battle a supernatural predator who takes on the form of people's worst fears. The cast of It Chapter 2 assembled in a group photo in July. James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, and Bill Hader play older versions of Bill, Beverly, and Richie, while Bill Skarsgård is reprising his role as Pennywise. It Chapter 2 opens in theaters September 6, 2019. Michael B. Jordan is ready to fight in the new poster for the upcoming Rocky series sequel Creed 2. Jordan uploaded the poster on Twitter Tuesday alongside the caption, Fight of the Century. The image features Jordan as Adonis Creed as he stares down his new opponent, Victor Drago, played by Florian Munteanu. Victor is the son of Rocky IV antagonist Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren, who kills Adonis' father, Apollo Creed. Sylvester Stallone as Rocky and Lundgren as Ivan make appearances in the back of the poster as the old rivals also stare each other down. Creed 2, from director Stephen Cavill Jr., is set to arrive in theaters on November 21st. The latest trailer for the film, released in September, features Adonis wanting to fight Victor in order to avenge his father's death. Tyler Perry has announced that he will be closing the books on his character Madea in the release of the upcoming film A Madea Family Funeral. The filmmaker and actor said Tuesday about retiring Madea while speaking with Bevy Smith on her Sirius XM show Bevelations. I'm happy to kill that old bitch. Perry has portrayed Madea, a foul-mouthed older woman, since 1999 across numerous stage plays and films. Perry released a trailer for Madea Family Funeral on Twitter Wednesday that features the title character incorrectly referencing the Bible and attempting to coordinate a funeral following the death of a family member. The caption reads, Respect the dead, pray for the living. Madea Family Funeral is set to arrive in theaters on March 1st. Perry also announced that he'll be portraying Madea during a farewell stage tour that will take place in 2019. Naomi Watts will have a starring role in the Game of Thrones prequel. The Hollywood Reporter confirmed the 50-year-old British actress was cast in the new HBO pilot from James Goldman and George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones is based on Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire book series. The new show was the first of several potential successor series to be picked up to pilot. It is set thousands of years before the events of Game of Thrones, with Watts playing a charismatic socialite with a dark secret. Martin confirmed Watts' casting in a blog post Tuesday. He says the new series will be titled The Long Night. The author wrote, casting is now underway for The Long Night, the first of the Game of Thrones successor series to order to film. HBO has just announced the first cast member. Naomi Watts is coming on board as one of our stars. Deadline said Goldman will serve as a showrunner and co-executive produce with Martin, Vince Geraghis, and Daniel Zellman. It was previously reported that the prequel will begin filming in Belfast, Northern Ireland in October. Game of Thrones will return for an 8th and final season in 2019. The series stars Emilia Clarke, Kit Harington, Lena Headey, Sophie Turner, Maisie Williams, and Peter Dinklage. Watts is known for such films as Mulholland Drive, The Ring, and Eastern Promises. She also starred in the Twin Peaks revival and the Netflix series Gypsy. Fuller House will premiere its 4th season in December. Netflix shared a premiere date for the new season and teaser photos featuring Candace Cameron Bure, Jodie Sweetin, and Andrea Barber in a tweet Tuesday. Season 4 will premiere December 14th. The teaser shows DJ Tanner, played by Burr, Stephanie Tanner, played by Sweetin, and Kimmy Gibbler, played by Barber, channeling Charlie's Angels, celebrating Christmas, and speaking to Uncle Jesse, played by John Stamos. The post reads, hashtag Fuller House returns December 14th, first look. Burr confirmed the news in a video featuring the cast Tuesday on Instagram. She wrote, "I have the answer to the question that so many of you at Full House fans have been asking. Fuller House Season 4 is premiering on. You'll have to watch all the way through to find out. Hashtag Fuller House, hashtag Season 4 at Netflix." Fuller House co-stars Michael Champion, Elias Harger, and Sonia Nicole Bringas. The series is a sequel to the spin-off to Full House, which aired for 8 seasons on ABC from 1987 to 1995. Bird denied Fuller House was canceled in an interview with E! News this month. The actress said that she has no doubt the series will be renewed for a 5th season. Netflix has renewed its animated comedy series BoJack Horseman, featuring the voices of Will Arnett and Aaron Paul for a 6th season. Netflix made the announcement on Twitter Tuesday alongside an image of BoJack holding up a magazine featuring his likeness up to his face. BoJack also commented on the renewal through the official Twitter account of the show. BoJack said alongside an animated image of a fruit bouquet, let's all forget about the fact that there's going to be a season 6 and focus on this inedible arrangement, and Netflix sent me just wow. BoJack Horseman follows a self-loathing alcoholic horse, voiced by Arnett, as he navigates through life after starring in a nice sitcom style horsing around. He is joined by his human friend Todd, played by Paul, and his feline agent Princess Carolyn, played by Amy Sedaris. Season 5 of the series debuted in September. The Witcher is giving fans a first glimpse of Henry Cavill. Netflix released a promo Wednesday of the 35-year-old British actor in costume as Geralt of Rivia. The clip shows Cavill doing a screen test on the set of the new series. The actor sports leather armor and Geralt's signature white hair. The post reads, "Get your first look at Henry Cavill in The Witcher." The Witcher is based on Andrzej Sapkowski's fantasy book series, which previously inspired a best-selling video game franchise. E! News says productions on the show is underway in Hungary. Cavill will star with Freya Allen and Anya Chalotra, portraying Ciri and Jennifer respectively. Lauren Schmidt-Harish will serve as the showrunner, with executive producing with Alik Shakov. Cavill is known for playing Superman in Justice League and other movies in the DC Cinematic Universe. He last serious regular role was Charles Brandon on the Showtime's drama The Tudors. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Tiffany Haddish, and more are set to appear during the Telethon for America on November 5th, an event that will raise awareness about voting in the midterm elections on November 6th. The Telethon for America will be streaming live across YouTube, Facebook Live, and Comedy Central Online from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Jessica Alba, Judd Apatow, Allison Janney, Lil Rel, Chelsea Handler, Ashley Benson, Adam Devine, Ben Glibben, Whitney Cummings, Russell Peters, Alyssa Milano, Jeffrey Ross, YouTube stars Lily Singh and Olga Kay, Sophie Bush, Tom Arnold, Aisha Taylor, Minnie Driver, Eric Griffin, Deborah Messing, Jack Thone, Connie Britton, and more are also set to appear. The telethon will feature live music and comedy performances as celebrities challenge viewers to get out and vote on Election Day. The event is backed by former First Lady Michelle Obama's nonpartisan nonprofit campaign, When We All Vote. Gleb created the telethon and serves as an executive producer alongside Neil Matt, Hannah Lincoln-Hulker, Rick Sorkin, and Barry Katz. Today, anchors dressed up as 80s icons during the show's annual Halloween celebration. Hoda Kotb, Savannah Guthrie, Kathy Lee Gifford, and the rest of the cast tackled decade-appropriate celebrities and fictional characters on Wednesday's episode of the NBC Morning Show. Kotb, Guthrie, and Gifford channeled 80s music superstars Elton John, Cyndi Lauper, and Madonna, while Carson Daly and Shania Jones dressed up as Bruce Springsteen and Tina Turner, respectively. In addition, Willie Geist, Al Roker, Dylan Dreyer, Craig Melvin, Jenna Bush Hager, and Peter N. Alexander took on characters from iconic 80s films. Geist went as Ferris Bueller, with Hager and Alexander as pilots from Top Gun. Guthrie said in a pre-taped segment during the episode, there was just something about the 80s that was so alive and everything just felt bigger, especially the hair. Roker opinion, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Coming to America, Raiders of the Lost Ark, some of the greatest movies ever came out in the 80s. The Today anchors dressed up as country stars, including Blake Shelton and Dolly Parton for Halloween in 2017. This year's celebration follows news Megyn Kelly won't return to the show following her comments about blackface. Barbra Streisand takes Late Late Show host James Corden on a musical ride in a new teaser trailer for Thursday's installment of Carpool Karaoke. Streisand said on Twitter Tuesday alongside the trailer, "They say there's a first time for everything. Can you believe this was my first time singing out loud in a car. Had so much fun at James Corden. Tune in to at Late Late Show Thursday night, #BarWalls. Streisand picked up Corden after the late night host discovered that his car had received a wheel clamp. Corden is then shocked to discover that Streisand doesn't play music in her car. Streisand says, "I don't usually put the radio on to hear music. Do you really have to hear music?" Before the duo launches into a rendition on Don't Rain on My Parade from Funny Girl. Streisand sings alongside Corden, "Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter." Streisand recently released a new single titled Don't Lie to Me that will appear on the music and film legend's upcoming 36 album Walls. The project is set to be released on November 2nd. Beyonce dressed up as fellow singer Toni Braxton for Halloween, channeling the hitmaker in a number of Instagram posts. Beyonce modeled her costume after the outfit Braxton wore on the cover of her first self-titled album released in 1993 and the cover art for the single Another Sad Love Song. Beyonce said, alongside an image of herself donning short hair, a white tank top, jeans, and a black leather jacket in order to appear as Braxton, sending love and adoration to one of our talented legends. Beyonce continued, "Your tone, your beauty, your range, and your God-given talent is treasured. Love you always. Have a happy Halloween, my kings and queens." Beyonce referred to herself as phony Braxton in the photos and included comparison images of Braxton. Braxton responded to Beyonce's costume on Instagram, "Phony Braxton? Never. How do you look better than me on my album cover? I love it. Such a superstar. Thanks for the love, sis. Happy Halloween. Who runs the world? Girls, girls, girl." Referencing to Beyonce's song, "Run the World, Girls." Kanye West announced on Twitter that he wants to distance himself from politics after months of doubling down on his support for President Donald Trump. West said on Tuesday, "My eyes are now wide open, and now I realize I've been used to spread messages I don't believe in. I'm distancing myself from politics and completely focusing on being creative." West's comments come after the rapper seemingly became involved with an apparel line titled Bretlix that encourages African Americans to leave the Democratic Party. Conservative commentator Candace Owens, whom West has spoken positively about before, created the line. West also tweeted on Twitter, "I introduced Candace to the person who made the logo, and they didn't want their name on it, so she used mine. I never wanted any association with Bretlix. I have nothing to do with it." West, who had started to frequently wear Trump's red Make America Great Again hat, had met with the president in October inside the Oval Office before a law was signed to update U.S. copyright laws. West said in September that he was bullied backstage at Saturday Night Live over his support for Trump. West was the musical guest on the season 44 premiere of SNL and proceeded to give a speech about politics on stage after performing and after the camera stopped rolling. Jennifer Lopez says dating Ben Affleck during the tabloid era was a crazy experience. The 49-year-old singer and actress compared media attention to her engagement to Affleck to interest in her relationship with Alex Rodriguez in the age of social media in the December issue of In Style. Lopez told the magazine, "It was actually worse than it was just crazy." She said of social media's benefits, "Now at least I can show you who I am a little bit. Back then you just believed anything you read on the cover of a tabloid. Many times it wasn't true, or it was like a third of the truth." The World Dance judge acknowledged social media presents its own set of problems, but says young stars have it easy today. She says, "They didn't live through the tabloid era. Now I sound like my mom. I used to walk uphill to school before there were cars." Lopez split from Affleck in 2004 after less than 2 years of dating. In addition to less tabloid attention, she says her relationship with Rodriguez is more serene due to their maturity. The star says, "When we met, we both already done a lot of work on ourselves." She says everybody has their flaws, and the people I want in my life are the people who recognize that and are willing to work on those flaws. It's super important, someone who's willing to look at themselves and say, okay, I'm not great here, or I could do better there. Lopez and Rodriguez confirmed their relationship in March 2017. Rodriguez unearthed a signed photo from Lopez while cleaning out his storage this month that the singer autographed for him nearly 20 years ago. Blake Shelton has announced a new North American tour set for 2019, which will also feature John Anderson, the Bellamy Brothers, Tracy Atkins, and Laura Alania. The Friends and Heroes tour is set to kick off on February 14th at the Chesapeake Energy Arena Arena in Oklahoma City before wrapping up on March 23rd at the Time Union Center in Albany, New York. Shelton and his crew will also be performing in cities such as Kansas City, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Green Bay, among others. A pre-sale will begin on November 2nd for members of Shelton Team BS Fan Club. Fans can join the fan club by 11:59 p.m. Central Time on November 1st to take part in the pre-sale. Shelton said on Twitter Tuesday, alongside a short video clip of the country star entering a bar and discussing with Alania who he should bring along on the tour. See you on the road. And here are the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of November 3rd. Number 10, Khalid and Normie with Love Lies. Number 9, Post Malone and Swally with Sunflower, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 8, Lil Baby and Gunna with Drip Too Hard. Number 7, 5 Seconds of Summer with Youngblood. Number 6, Kodak Black featuring Travis Scott and Offset with ZZ. Number 5, Post Malone with Better Now. Number 4, Marshmello and Bastille with Happier. Number 3, Juice WRLD with Lucid Dreams. Number 2, Travis Scott with Sicko Mode. And the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of November 3rd, Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B with Girls Like You. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1940, the influential comedian and actor Richard Pryor, who rose to fame in Hollywood in the 1970s and appeared in such hit films as Silver Streak, was born in Peoria, Illinois. According to the Museum of Broadcast Communications, Pryor was the first African-American stand-up comedian to speak candidly and successfully to integrate audiences using the language and jokes blacks previously only shared among themselves when they were most critical of America. His comedic style emancipated African-American humor. After being expelled from school in the 8th grade, Pryor worked a series of jobs and served in the U.S. Army before he was discharged for getting into a fight. He began performing in comedy clubs and by 1963 was doing stand-up in New York City, modeling his routines after the clean-cut, non-offensive style of such fellow African-American comedians as Bill Cosby. The following year, Pryor made his national TV debut on a variety show hosted by Rudy Valley. In 1967, he released his first comedy album, Richard Pryor. The funny man made his big screen debut that same year with the comedy The Busybody featuring Sid Caesar. During the 1970s, Pryor's comedy evolved, and he tackled racially sensitive topics in his stand-up routine and best-selling Grammy Award-winning comedy albums, often using raunchy, political, incorrect language. According to his 2005 obituary in the New York Times, at the height of his career in the late 1970s, Mr. Pryor prowled the stage like a restless cat, dispensing what critics regard as the most poignant and penetrating comedic view of African-American life ever afforded to the American public. He was volatile yet vulnerable, crass but sensitive, streetwise and cocky but somehow still diffident and anxious. And he could unleash an astonishing array of dramatic and comedic skills to win acceptance and approval from a kind of stark humor. Pryor's movie career took off with the 1976 box office hit Silver Streak, a comedy thriller about a murder on a train co-starring Gene Wilder. Pryor and Wilder went on to collaborate on such films as Stir Crazy in 1980, See No Evil, Hear No Evil 1989, and Another You 1991. During the 1970s, Pryor also appeared in such movies as 1977's Greased Lightning, in which he played a race car driver, The Wiz, the 1978 version of The Wizard of Oz that featured an entirely African-American cast with Diana Ross and Michael Jackson joined Pryor, who played the title role. Writer Neil Simon's California Suite in 1978 with Alan Alda, Jane Fonda, Walter Matthau, Maggie Smith, and Bill Cosby, and The Muppet Movie in 1979. 1979, Pryor also released his first concert film, Richard Pryor Live in Concert, which, according to a 2005 Times article, remains the standard by which other movies of live comedy performances are judged. In 1980, Pryor, who battled substance abuse issues during his life, was severely burned in an explosion caused while he was freebasing cocaine. After spending several months recovering in the hospital, he resumed his career, performing stand-up and appearing in a string of movies, including Bustin' Loose, 1980, in which he plays an ex-con who gets a second chance, Superman 3, 1983, with Christopher Reeve, Brewster's Millions, 1985, with John Candy, the semi-autobiographical JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, 1986, and Harlem Nights, in 1989, written and directed by and co-starring Eddie Murphy. In 1986, Pryor was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. He made his final film appearance in David Lynch's Lost Highway in 1997. Pryor, who married 6 times, died at the age of 65 on December 10, 2005 in California after suffering a heart attack. And as your entertainment report for Thursday, November 1st, 2018, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.